G'day guys and welcome to Raging Rhino. Well, we just finished episode 1, which was a little bit on the boring side, but I guess it needed to start the story somewhere in regards to what's happening in Mount Tantus with Omega and Crosshair. So that episode is done. If you haven't checked out that review, of course, go and check out that video before we do episode 2. But we're going to get straight into this episode. I don't think that there's too much more to talk about. Of course, being that I'm watching these back to back to back, there's nothing really that I didn't say in my review for episode 1 that I could say here to add anything more to it. So let's get straight into episode 2. If you are new here, of course, you get to see my reactions as we go through the episode. And then at the very end, you get to hear my thoughts and my review of the episode. So let's get straight into episode 2.
If you find who you're looking for.
Another female boss leader chick of another... It's just non-stop. They're going to come across the animal Omega saved. And somehow that's going to give them a clue. Well, it seems they got sent to the wrong place. Unless it's still on the same planet. That's the end of the episode. Alright, so this episode... Basically, Hunter and Wrecker, they seem to be split up on different missions. I don't know what Echo and that are doing, but Hunter and Wrecker, this is their little opening to Season 3. Of course, they end up getting the location of one of the old research facilities that they think that Omega might be there. So they go to the planet, and it's been orbital bombarded by the Empire, and they did it to themselves. They did it to their own base because they were experimenting with plants. They were experimenting with vines, and the vines came to life and basically started taking over this entire planet, or that part of the planet, taking over the base and everything. So of course from there they had to move everything to Mount Tantus so that they could continue their research and everything that they're doing. While they're on the planet, they find these three clones. Excuse me, but I can't remember their names. And one of them decides to help them go into the base to try and get some intel. The other two stay behind, but it was just lucky they stayed behind because they wanted to basically get away. They wanted to steal their ship so that they could basically get out of there. And if the Vines were to ever take over the ship, then there goes their opportunity of leaving. While they're on the ship, basically at the point where they've got to make a decision whether or not they sort of stay or go, they get a call, they need backup. And of course, that's where they basically get them out of there. You know, you see this thing here. These are the vines. The vines that are alive, and it's basically, it looks like a bit of a Sarlacc pit. Like, this is basically from the top, if I can get a good shot of it. No, I'm not going to get a good shot of it. But basically, that's it there. It looks like a Sarlacc, but like a vine version of a Sarlacc. Basically, that's what they've done, and they blow that thing up. They get out of there. They're going to take these 3 young clones to the island that we saw in Season 2, and they can figure out what path they want to take, just not being soldiers. And of course, Wrecker and Hunter got a little bit of information from the terminal in this base, which is it was basically just a, what did he say it was? Like a system or something. So there's still a lot of space to cover before they actually know and pinpoint exactly where Omega is. But of course, this is just, again, setting everything up. So we're 2 episodes in. We've seen Omega trapped in Mount Tantus, being given a little bit of leeway. We saw her blood being discarded every time they took a blood test of hers. And they're trying to increase the metachlorian count of the clones. And then this episode is just Hunter and Wrecker obviously trying to find Omega, doing everything that they can. I mentioned earlier, sorry, I didn't mean to play there. I mentioned earlier that, you know, you've got another female leader of a planet or a system or something. And I do find, like, look, there's nothing wrong with having all these female characters and stuff in there, but I just find it funny that every leader of every world, of every town, or whatever the case may be that these guys go into is led by a female character. Not even one, male character there to maybe balance it out a little bit or anything like that. It's just this constant female leaders of planets, and it's really funny because this guy that they discard, asks everybody. Let's see if I can find the spot here. So it's pretty much from this bit here.
Any last words?
The Syndicate has grown weak under your rule, Lady Durand.
Weak, you say? Who here agrees?
So nobody agrees.
Cowards!
Chosen more cowards.
You're dismissed, Captain.
So basically, like, that's who they went to. This is the person that they got the information off to basically go to that planet and do this little mission. And that's basically the episode. So far, the 2 episodes in, I'm bored as shit. I understand what the mission is, and I understand where we left off at the end of season 2, but I'm just bored. There's nothing really exciting going on, and I don't expect to be excited by this. It's Disney Star Wars after all, but, at least something. A little bit better than, a weed that is basically designed to look like a Sarlacc attacking them, and that's really it. I'm sure people are going to talk about how interesting it is that these 3 boys... they're clones, and they were trapped in the research facility, in this specific research facility, and they were the only ones to get out, and I don't know. Whatever. But that's basically it. More babysitters in space, and we'll have to see what episode 3 gives us. So let's move straight over into the next video. We'll do episode 3. And then that'll be the opening premiere completely done. If you wouldn't mind, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the very next video for episode 3. See you soon. Later, guys.